Γεια σου, είναι ο JohnyThan εδώ και καλώς ήρθατε επίσης στο Pokemon Legends GA. Λοιπόν, την προηγούμενη φορά που τα παίξαμε παιδιά, δεν καταφέραμε να πάρουμε το επόμενο μας εισιτήριο γιατί κανονίσαμε κάποια πολλά πράγματα. Τρεις μέγα εξελίξεις κανονίσαμε κανονικά. Και δεν καταφέραμε τώρα, όπως το λένε, να πάρουμε το πρώτο μας εισιτήριο και έχει ξημερώσει. Οπότε, αφού δεν καταφέραμε να το κάνουμε όλο αυτό, σκέφτομαι να γυρίσω πίσω στο σπίτι μου και να κάνουμε την επόμενη μας αποστολή για να το περάσουμε σιγά σιγά το παιχνίδι. We managed to save another bunch of Pokemon from rough Mega Evolution. As usual, it was largely thanks to your efforts. In fact, you really outdid yourself this time. I'm so glad we've got you on Team MZ. Hey, AZ. Hey, Az, can I ask you something? Yes, what is it, my young friend? You keep saying we need to find the strongest Mega Evolution user, but how do we determine that? Like, how do we know which trainer is the actual strongest? That is up to Floated to decide. How do you mean? I mean that it will require the greatest of Mega Evolution user to handle Floated's true power. For the moment, let us simply be glad that you all continue to succeed in calming rough Pokemon. But do we know how Floated would even decide who the strongest? Kirukuru. Maybe it's got to the Pokemon trainer that Floated thinks she could rely on. Well, that must be John. Says who? Grishan. Ένας καινούργιος αντίπαλος. This promotion match announced for trainer John rank B. The opponent for your next promotion match has been decided. You are first trainer Grisham, rank B. The trainer who wins will be promoted to rank A. Okay, τελευταίος μας αντίπαλος είναι αυτός. So it's finally time. You're closing on a rank A now, the very top of the ZA Royale. Just one question. Who the heck is Grisham? Does anyone know? Odd that they are made to rank B but managed to keep their faces secret. Some folks prefer not to show their face in their profile photo. They want to keep their daily lives and their ZA Royale activities separate. Some people register under pressure domains or nicknames too. That's true, but still. How are you supposed to find them to have your promotion match? See, you'll have to wait for them to find you, I guess. And risk things getting worse with Press Tower. No way. We can't just sit back and wait. I have a feeling he wouldn't just offer us someone's personal information like that, and maybe Emma could help though. Let's head to the local barrier zone and try to find out more about this Grisham. Okay. Γιατί εγώ πιστεύω ότι είναι εκείνος ο ψηλός. Looks like the competition to see whose rank A first has begun. Who joins the ZA Royale under a false name? There are some strange people out there. The strongest Mega Evolution user. Another role I should have fulfilled and yet failed to. Κρου. Γιατί νιώθω ότι είναι εκείνος ο επόμενος μου αντίπαλος. Δεν ξέρω, απλώς έτσι νιώθω ότι είναι, αλλά ποιος ξέρει. Ό,τι δείξει. Μρα. Εκτός κι αν είναι κι αυτή. Glad to see you too, me. Hello there, what can I do for you today? If this is about your case, I've narrowed down the list of likely candidates by looking at people who came to Lumios within the last few years. Thanks, Emma, but it's actually another missing person we've heard for today. Another missing person? Alright, let's hear it. We need to find John's opponent for his next promotion match. Do you have a name? Grisham. Grisham, huh? I know the name. One of the top ranked trainers in the ZA Royale, or so I've heard. I can give you the information you need, but this knowledge could potentially put you in danger. Do you still want to know? Nah, of course, θέλουμε να μάθουμε. I figure you'd say that. Okay, I know what to do. If you beat me in a battle, I'll tell you what to know. Come, let's head outside. Okay, ώστε έχουμε άλλη μια ποκεμον μάχη μπροστά μας. You should know Emma's really strong. Her detective work means she's too busy for the ZA Royale, but she's be in the top ranks for sure. Okay, are you ready to battle me? Okay, είμαι έτοιμος. Αλλά ό,τι δείξει. I'll be using Pokemon that were given to me by a man who played an important role in my life. Malamar. Everyone, let's go. Malamar? Oh, Θεέ μου.
Από όλους ο καλύτερος να γίνω προσπαθώ. Να τα εκπαιδεύσω είναι ο σκοπός, αφού τα μαζέψω εδώ. Ταξιδεύω παντού στη γη, ψάχνω εδώ και εκεί. Στο κάθε ποκεμον μπορείς τη δύναμη να βρεις. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, όλα τώρα εδώ. Ποκεμον είναι το πεπρωμένο μου. Ποκεμον σε έναν κόσμο που πολεμάει για το παρόν. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, τα θέλω εδώ. Στο λέω καθαρά λοιπόν, με διδάσκεις σαν διδάσκω εγώ. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, τώρα, τώρα. Κάθε πρόκληση σκληρή με θάρρος θα κοιτώ. Πρέπει ο τόπος να σωθεί, γι' αυτό θα πολεμώ. Έλα για να φτιάξουμε ομάδα δυνατή. Όλα θα τα αλλάξουμε αν είμαστε μαζί. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, όλα τώρα εδώ. Ποκεμον είναι το πεπρωμένο μου. Ποκεμον σε έναν κόσμο που πολεμάει για το παρόν. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, τα θέλω εδώ. Στο λέω καθαρά λοιπόν, με διδάσκεις σαν διδάσκω εγώ. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, θέλω τώρα, θέλω τώρα.
Τουλάχιστον σε κέρδισα. Good thing those all guys aren't here to see this. Ναι, ώρα να μάθουμε ποιος είναι αυτός. Tell me, what do you know about the Team Flare? They're the group that caused all the trouble for Kalos five years ago, right? Exactly, right. Their group was led by a man named Lysander. He's disappeared 5 years ago, but now he's reappeared calling himself L. He's been spotted around town with a mysterious Pokemon. It seems surprises, so I decided to investigate them, not for a silent, just for me. But everything I've uncovered tells me that L hasn't been doing anything sinister at all. In fact, He seems to be genuinely trying to help save Lumios, so it's not the old guard we've got to worry about here, but rather the new. See, about 5 years ago, I had my own ties to someone who was involved in Team Flare. That's how I heard what I'm about to tell you. Before Team Flare collapsed, they started making moves to ensure they left a legacy. Apparently, they tried a few different things, including making the expansion suits that I used. Another one of their efforts involving training up a new generation to carry on their idols. And Grisha was one of the young trainers that Team Flare taught, though it's not clear if Grisma is even a real name or not. And now it seems Grisma is taking part of in the ZA Royale, but what end? Still be a team. Not exciting. There's no real saying for sure, not until I do some more digging at least. You know what? I bet Mabel at the Pokemon Research Lab could tell you more about Grissom. You mean... No, Lesotrexaris? Sorry, but that's enough for me to say. It's up to Mabel to decide how much she wants to share. Thanks for the tip, Emma. I'll do some investigation of my own. You should go to the Pokemon Research Lab and see what maybe says John. Okay. That rat, that vile little man. I can't believe that mayor. It's not my fault we kept getting more wild zones. And it's not even like I can tell him off, not when he knows I'm basically at his mercy. But that doesn't mean I should get worked into the group. I'm as acting director of this place. Δεν νιώθω ότι είσαι εσύ ο επόμενος μου αντίπαλος. Are you making progress on a research task? Grisma, who could that be? No. The ZA Royal, huh? Seems you already know more about Gris than I would have thought. Fine, so I used to be a part of Team Flare. I don't really mind telling people if they're mortally curious. But there are still people today who react badly if they even hear the words Team Flare, you know. So I don't exactly walk around advertising it, but I won't lie about it if I am asked either. Huh. When everything fell apart, I got taken into custody along with the others. But I took a plea deal, so I got made acting director of this lab. Easy to keep tabs on me if I'm always stuck here, right? My role in Team Flare also had me looking into Pokemon energy, and also I don't hate the work. Sorry, didn't mean for the sub story to spill out. You want to know about Grisma, huh? He was a part of the youngest generation in Team Flare. Everyone called him Gris. It means grey, like the color of ashes. He was pretty strong when it came to Pokemon battles. Not that we got much chance to show off that skills at the time. I honestly don't know what he might be thinking now joining the ZA Royale. But if you've really got to know, you might want to try Novir Cafe over the Sinister Plaza. You'll find out when you go, won't you? Church kid, don't take all the mysterious and fun out of life. You're about to walk into a pretty sticky situation, but I'll be there to help you when the time comes. And don't forget, I still want you to keep up the research work too. Okay. Επόμενη μας αποστολή είναι να κοιτάξουμε αλλού. Θα μας κάνει να τριγυρνάμε παντού τώρα. The only good thing we've got to offer is our location. You here for another nasty drink? If you'd like to order something, please speak to the young lady there. Αυτό. Well, isn't this interesting? It looks like you've managed to find your next opponent. Εσύ είσαι! The guest master of Senator Plaza Flame Novel Cafe truck is indeed just a front. The truth is, I'm one of the top-ranked trainers in this area, the foremost trainer in rank B, and the boss of Team Flare Novel. Yes, you found me, Grisma, at your service. I've got my own goals to achieve, goals that have brought me to the ZA Royale, which is why I cannot let you defeat me. I suppose this still makes a little sense to you. However, shall I explain the whole thing? Grisma, you know this kid is with Z, as there's no point even trying to explain it all to someone on Az side. This is Glisley, one of my commanders in Team Flare Novel. Let's just take this kid down right here, right now, while we've got the chance. Glisley, please do calm down yourself. Novi Cafe is here to offer comfort to the masses. It's no place to start a commotion. Fine. I sent you a location. If you care at all about knowing the truth, go there and wait. Well, close up shop, then head over. If you be so kind, please check your map and find your own way while we meet you there. Ώστε αυτός ήταν ο τέτοιος που ψάχναμε. Okay. Look at you, waiting like a good little boy. I imagine you must be asking yourself why we would want to meet such a spot. Sorry. This is Listener Cafe. It was a very important place for anyone in Team Flare, though now it is an empty storefront. No one has any desire to rent a location so closely associated with such a disreputable group. And since no one wasn't it, we've taken the liberty of continuing to use it as a base for Team Flare, or more rightly for Team Flare Novel. You do know about Team Flare, don't you? What could an outsider like you know about a Team Flare really was? Literally. Grishma, this kid is our enemy. He's nothing but an obstacle to all the goals we hope to acclaim for Team Flare Novel. There is no point in trying to explain everything to someone like this. Let's just get rid of him. Though the world has not been kind or forgiving towards those of us who were a part of Team Flare. I'm afraid it's all too understandable, sad though it is that some hardened their hearts in response, like Grizzle here has done. My apologies. I'm afraid there is simply no stopping Grizzly once she's set on a course of action. Though it will mean revealing your battle tactics to me before our promotion match, I must ask. Please, won't you grant Grizzly the battle she deserves? Φυσικά. Οκ, αφού πρώτον περίμενε, έχει δηλητηριαστεί πρώτον το τέτοιο μου, οπότε ας περιμένουμε να πεθάνει. Ας περιμένουμε να πεθάνει, να το γιατρέψουμε και να είμαστε έτοιμοι μετά να την αντιμετωπίσουμε. Οκ. Ωραία, να δούμε πόσο δυνατή είσαι εσύ που θέλεις να με ξεφορτωθείς. Fight me. Θέλεις να με αντιμετωπίσεις? Έγινε. Τώρα να δούμε. I'm going to burn you to the ground. There won't be enough of you left to fight in the ZA Royale. Πρέπει να την κερδίσουμε σε αυτό. Αλλά κανείς δεν ξέρει πόσο δυνατή είναι.
Από όλους ο καλύτερος να γίνω προσπαθώ. Να τα εκπαιδεύσω είναι ο σκοπός, αφού τα μαζέψω εδώ. Ταξιδεύω παντού στη γη, ψάχνω εδώ και εκεί. Στο κάθε ποκεμον μπορείς τη δύναμη να βρεις. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, όλα τώρα εδώ. Ποκεμον είναι το πεπρωμένο μου. Ποκεμον σε έναν κόσμο που πολεμάει για το παρόν. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, τα θέλω εδώ. Στο λέω καθαρά λοιπόν, με διδάσκεις σαν διδάσκω εγώ. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα εδώ. Κάθε πρόκληση σκληρή με θάρρος θα κοιτώ. Πρέπει ο τόπος να σωθεί, γι' αυτό θα πολεμώ. Έλα για να φτιάξουμε ομάδα δυνατή. Όλα θα τα αλλάξουμε αν είμαστε μαζί. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, όλα τώρα εδώ. Ποκεμον είναι το πεπρωμένο μου. Ποκεμον σε έναν κόσμο που πολεμάει για το παρόν. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, τα θέλω εδώ. Στο λέω καθαρά λοιπόν, με διδάσκεις σαν διδάσκω εγώ. Ποκεμον τα θέλω τώρα, τα θέλω τώρα.
This is ridiculous. Ridiculous, εσύ είσαι ridiculous που ξεσπάς το θυμό σου επάνω μου. Χωρίς λόγο. I lost. My Pokemon lost. That was well fought. I expected nothing less from Team MZ's new heir. NOS, this one who seek to save Lumio City. I'd say it's time for a little coffee break. Voila. Yeah, voila, one ember roast, our signature drink at Nuvio Cafe. Thank you. Ευχαριστώ για το γιατρήμα. That should have perked up to the Pokemon who battle for us as well. Now that we're all feeling refreshed, allow me to teach you about the true history of Team Flare and what it is we hope to accomplish. Please join us inside. Okay. The flary red that is the fills this Limbo cafe. And here is the place I'd like to explain to you why I chose to battle in the ZA Royale. Shall we begin with Team Flare? You see, the group known as Team Flare provide a place for people to come together and help one another, all to achieve a more beautiful world. However, our leader, a man named Lysander, grew disillusional with humanity over time. Fearing what the future might bring, he set on a new goal of his own to reduce the number of people in the world. In the end, Lysander made a truly foolish choice. He chose to use the ultimate weapon. Do you know about the ultimate weapon, which nearly burned the Kalos region of the map? That weapon was As creation. You may only see as the kindly figure who has provided you with a place to call home. But if he had never built something so horrifying as that ultimate weapon, then Lysander would have never been driven to such madness, and we in Team Flare would have become surely outstracks. And now it appears As is out to save Lumios, relying on the support of your Team MZ. Honestly, it's laughable. My apologies. I imagine you don't know how to respond to such an unexpected outrunning. And of course you might not even believe a word that I've said. That is why I invited you, John, to witness the truth yourself. You'll see. You'll see. Open sesame. Beyond that door lies the former Landrock Labs. It was a facility used for research in the days when Team Flare was still achieved, and it was down there that we learned as sector for ourselves. That is where we learn of the terrible weapons that As created. You must see the truth with your own eyes if you are to understand how awful it is. Lysander Labs was designed to be ladies, and of course plenty of wild Pokemon have taken over the place since it was abandoned. You might be done in before you ever get to see the truth for yourself. Okay, ώρα να μάθουμε την αλήθεια. I figure out enough time had passed for you to have gotten yourself in some trouble. Let me guess, you're down to Lysander Lab. If so, there should be an elevator right in front of you. See it? You need to find an elevator key. There should be one around this somewhere. The warp panel doesn't. You have to find the right power simply to until. Okay, πρέπει να βρούμε το σωστό τέτοιο για το. The doors seem to lock. A letter A is displayed on the. Ώστε εδώ είναι για να πάω στο Hall of Fame να μαντέψω. Ώστε απλώς τριγυρνάμε γύρω γύρω μέχρι να βρούμε το κλειδί. Okay. You pull down the lever to achieve a powers. Και αυτό τι έκανε? Ενεργοποιεί ένα τέτοιο. The rank on the nearly wrap. Okay. Lab key card. Okay, βρήκαμε την κάρτα. Άρα να γυρίσουμε πίσω. Dark Pulse. Απλώς μας οδηγάει πάλι εδώ. Μήπως εδώ θέλει να πει κάτι. Εγώ είμαι ο χαζός, εδώ έπρεπε να είχα πάει. Δικό μου λάθος, παιδιά. Oh my god. Διπλό χτύπημα. Αλλά ένα lever. Okay. Γιατί όχι. Okay, never mind τότε. Okay. The lights are back on and nearly wrap panels should work now. Οπότε τώρα τι, γυρνάμε απλώς πίσω στο... Thunderstone. Cool. Max revived. Το Max Revive να μαντέψει ότι το ζωντανέβαλα και θα τον διατρέπει ταυτόχρονα. Όχι, δεν βλέπω τίποτα, οκ. Πάμε μέσα. Οκ, πρώτον πόλων δεν είμαστε έτοιμοι γι' αυτό. Δεύτερον, για να δούμε, υπάρχει κάπου άλλο που πρέπει να πάμε. Όχι, εκεί πρέπει να πάμε. Ναι, δεν έχει πουθενά άλλους να πας, οπότε πρέπει να πάμε από εδώ. Κοίταξε, είναι ο φίλος σου. Πρέπει να το κάνουμε, δεν έχουμε άλλη επιλογή. Kilometer, okay, lab C. Okay. Okay. Και η τελευταία εξελεγμένη μορφή του τέτοιου είναι αυτή. And edge slash floats in the way. Looks like you have to defeat to continue ahead. Okay. Αλλά ταυτόχρονα πρέπει να αντιμετωπίσω και αυτούς. Okay. Πρέπει να το κάνουμε. Μπρο, με ένα χτύπημα. Δεν δουλεύει, δεν δουλεύει. Yo, the path is now clear. Δύο από τα ποκεμon μου όμως έχουν σκοτωθεί. Okay. You're seeing the elevator key. Okay. Head to the elevator entrance. Okay. Άρα να γυρίσουμε τώρα πίσω στο elevator που ξεκινήσαμε. Okay, εδώ είμαστε. Εδώ είμαστε. Behind. Second floor. Okay, στον τρίτο όροφο τότε. Είναι και όλα σκοτεινά. Είναι όλα σκοτεινά που δεν μπορώ να δω τίποτα. Some of the mysterious machinery powered bank on the respond to your presence. Regularly check initialized. Possession of all key cards have been confirmed. Connecting partial reboot of systems. Systems rebooted. Voices guidance enabled. For files are available for payback. File 1, the device. File 2, the fool. File 3, the legends. File 4, our shared dream. Which file would you like to review? The legends. Kalos is said to have 2 legendary Pokemon. Semna, which respects life and reproduces any respected disaction and death. The power of grand life and the power of still life. These are mysterious abilities that even science has not been able to decode. What would happen to the world if we were to use such power to achieve the ultimate weapon? The device. The device that grants life. The device was created 3,000 years in the past. It was originally designed to restore life to a Pokemon that had persisted. We have found this ultimate weapon buried in the earth beneath town. It has been well present. We believe we can have it operational without little work. But we have not yet found the necessary key to achieve the weapon. We believe Ash should still possess it since he was the machine creator. We must find him and capture him without delay. Which would you like to review? Okay. The device that grants life in fact gains the decision life stolen from other Pokemon. This is because the basic functions of the device is distinct energy into the purses form them and emit that disguises energy. This emission can take it the front of conversation, rendition of conditions. Thus life can be conducted back into a Pokemon that had lost its own, allowing it to be revived. What then would occur if we were to fool the device with the energy of a legendary Pokemon? As the world grows wider, the number of the Pokemon and people will only continue to grow, and the growth will invite new difficulties. In time life we fill every corner of the planet until no more life can be sustained. When there is only one of something, it cannot be shared. When something cannot be shared, it will be fought over. And when something is fought over, some must survive without it. The only way to create a world where people lived in beauty, a world without conflict, or it's to reduce the number of living things. My comrades in Team Flare, the time has come to lead the world towards a more beautiful future. Yeah. I see. Have you learned the secret of the ultimate weapon? How truly abominated it was. Az created that weapon. Then 1,000 years later, he also made a device that now dwells within Praise Tower. Εσύ ήσουν αυτός που τα έκανε όλα αυτά. Zagreus seemed to wish that I come to this place. I have lost most of my mentions, and yet this place does bring back something. What I remember most clearly is Az. When I spoke with him 5 years ago, though in the bars of his cell, I did not know he true intellect, but I did learn of the device within Price Tower. I set my mind on activating both the ultimate weapon and that device. But to achieve that, the device requires a certain Pokemon, one particular float, and there was no way to know where that float could be found. That led me to abandon my plans for the tower device. But the ultimate weapon could still be activated using the key Az carried, and so I did. There was an explosion. I remember that much, though I cannot recall the cause of it. Perhaps the weapon was incomplete. I was buried deep in the earth, together with Team Flare, secret days. Nah. Zagreus saved me. It worked to protect all living creatures in the area from the light raining down the deadly light off. The ultimate weapon. In doing so, Zagreus anxious its own power. But at the weapon, I activation the device in Prim's Tower's upward as well, sensing danger. Now it has become a threat to Lumios. It could fully lose control at any time. To stop the device and protect this city, Zagreus must regain its true power. It has given me a mission. Sooner or later, the tower will either frenzied state similar to rough mega evolution. The only one who can bring it back under control is Az Float. Yes, we need the eternal flower and trainer who can draw forth her full power. This is the truth, I know, and now you have learned all those young people waiting in Listener Cafe wanted you to learn. Go and speak with the Grisha and with Az, then do what must be done. Οκ. Τώρα μάθαμε γιατί γίνανε όλα αυτά. Και ώρα να ανακανονίσουμε αυτούς τους δύο τώρα που είναι εκεί έξω. Did you see? To think that he is still alive, and yet that doesn't seem to remember us in the. How could you just forget? It's just all because of him that the rest of us. Leslie, there will be a time for such things later. And you, John, you now know the truth of As sins. And so, I make this request of you. Get As floated and give her to me. Nah. You must see it by now. With As special floated, we should be able to keep Rim's towers comfortable. Everything we've learned points to that conclusion. We must stop the tower from going on a rampage if we're ever to achieve the kind of beautiful world Team Flare wants to dream of. And if we can be the ones to protect Lumios, then people will finally see us difficultly. Do you understand? We were mere children born to those who chose just to join Team Flare, and yet we too become pariahs in the eyes of social when Team Flare was disbanded. But we couldn't just leave Lumios. The city is our home too, and we love it as much as anyone else. The only reason Team Flare existed was to make Lumios better, to make all of Kalos better. At Novel Cafe, we worked hard to provide coffee to those who have little less else. And as we've worked there, we've also heard the voice of Lumios people. We understand the city better than anyone else. We know its people better than anyone else. So if you really want to face me in a battle, you'll need to more than just a challenger ticket. You'll need to be ready to hard over As floated to me. I must become the strongest Pokemon trainer by battling my way up through the ZA Royale. I must become the strongest Mega Evolution user. Then I will be the one to restrain Prize Tower with As floated. Go talk with me rest of GM and decide what it is you really ought to do. It's time they learn of the As sins. Now back to Hotel Z. Μάλιστα, ώστε πρέπει τώρα να πάμε πίσω και να εξηγήσουμε στους φίλους μας την αληθινή ιστορία σε αυτόν που μας ήρθε και έστειλε το τέτοιο να μας αντιμετωπίσει. Αλλά λέω να το σταματήσουμε μέχρι εδώ μέχρι στιγμής, γιατί το παίζουμε τώρα 1 ώρα και τέτοια. Λοιπόν, για να καταλάβουμε τώρα τι γίνεται. Κανονίσαμε εκείνους, μάθαμε ποιος ήταν τώρα ο επόμενος μας αντίπαλος για να πάμε στο Rank A. Τώρα, κανονίσαμε εκείνα, κανονίσαμε όλα τα άλλα Pokemon που ήταν εκεί πέρα. Πήραμε τις κάρτες, ξεκλειδώσαμε όλα αυτά και μάθαμε τώρα την ιστορία για εκείνον και Rosagrowr. Αυτός είχε πεθάνει πριν 5 χρόνια, αλλά εκείνο το Pokemon τον έσωσε. Και τώρα μας εξήγησαν οι άλλοι γιατί τώρα θέλουν την float τέτοια που είναι στο χρυσφύγετό μας να την πάρει εκείνος. Τώρα αυτό πρέπει να το δεχτούμε και να το κάνουμε για να σώσουμε τον κόσμο. Ποιος ξέρει τι θα γίνει. Αλλά θα το μάθουμε τώρα στο επόμενο επεισόδιο όλο αυτό. Αλλά τέλος πάντων παιδιά, αν σας άρεσε μην ξεχάσετε να βάλετε μια εγγραφή και να αλλάξετε αυτό το βίντεο. Και θα μάθουμε την επόμενη συνέχεια τι θα γίνει στη συνέχεια. Και πάντοτε θα σας δω στο επόμενο βίντεο. Γεια σας!